Hello everyone. So welcome to this series of video, the new PMP examination. Uh, I have with me Mr. Pradhan, as always, to discuss the new PMP examination. Welcome, Mr. Pradhan.
Yes, thank you, Tasneem.
Okay, so in one of the videos, we gave an overall idea that the new PMP will be based on 5 chapters as different from the current PMP, which is based on 13 chapters. So
Yeah.
today, we are here to discuss a bit more about the 5 chapters. Like what is a basic overview of those 5 chapters? So, Mr.
Yes,
Pradhan, yeah. So, can you just give us a brief idea about the overall 5 chapters that we are looking at?
yes, thank you, Tasneem, once again. So let me explain. There are total 5 chapters. You can see on the screen that it talks about 5 main most important elements. One is about developing a powerful team. Second is initiating the project.
Okay.
Third is executing the work,
Okay.
monitoring the team performance, and keeping the focus on the business.
Okay.
Uh, uh, Now, it's very, very important that what it talks about, is any project can start only after developing a powerful team. That's very important term.
Right.
Of course, let me tell you one thing, Tasneem, that all these chapter names, what we have mentioned here, are quite slightly different in original PMP. So we
Okay.
have some limitations. So we have displayed it this way. But what's important is the meaning behind that. Okay.
So basically, these
So
are indicative names and not the real names of the chapters, right?
yes, perfect, perfect,
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Okay, so developing a team, very powerful team, is the first element. And for any project management team, if they have a very powerful team, they of course they will be able to execute the project successfully. So that's the key element. Second is that, as I mentioned here, initiating the project, it is very similar to earlier planning process group, okay, which talks planning, and you can say to some extent it is the initiating process group, which talks about the beginning of the project, and the most important element is the planning part. Of course, the planning is
Right.
part. So it talks about that. Third is about executing. That is that once everything is ready, doing the execution. Of course, then the monitoring and control comes into picture, because whatever you are trying to do, it is very important to check the progress, take the corrective action, and bring the project back on track. So that's monitoring and team performance again, team performance here, and keeping the focus on the business. While when and everybody is doing the project, everybody should, the entire team should focus on what the outcome is, that, and then what is the business requirement, why we are doing this project. So this is in nutshell, is the structure of the 5 chapters, which
Okay.
is different than all the earlier version, which was a 13 chapters.
Okay. So
So
does that
this is
mean
what
that we have to study less because the content has become less? Does it mean that?
unfortunately not the same. The content is actually, it has increased slightly.
Okay.
Only thing that, instead of 13, they have divided into 5 chapters, nothing else.
Okay.
And most importantly, now that they have covered it, three basic project management elements, as Arun mentioned earlier. One is the agile project management, traditional project management is also called as a waterfall project management. And third is, of course, the hybrid of both. So it contains, the coverage is much more wider and more exhaustive than earlier one. But of course, it's into 5 chapters.
Okay. So
Now, Tasneem, let me ask you. I mean, you being
okay.
a faculty, do you want to say something on this?
Yeah, so what I understand here is that the earlier 5 process groups that we had, this structure is a bit similar to that, but not the same, right? It is
Right.
like we have this develop the powerful team. That is something which is a new thing. And as you very rightly pointed out, like the 3 fundamental elements, people, processes, and the business environment, this I think focuses a lot on the people part. Like now new PMP says that people are your greatest asset. And so making them work towards the goal of the project, plus making them work towards developing a very powerful team. Looks like it is a lot of focus on the people aspect, which is 42% weightage, right?
Right. Thank you.
Okay. So, one more thing I would like to ask you, if this last chapter that says keeping the focus on business, um, does it connect very largely with the business environment element of the three fundamental elements? And like, any idea why do we have it here such as a big chapter?
Yeah, see what happens that many times if it project is initiated, the huge budget is spent on the project, everything is done. Team is also sometimes they are delivering the project as per the plan, everything. But find many times the focus why the project is initiated it gets lost.
Correct.
Say for example, if the organization is planning a particular project on the reduction of say reduction of cost reduction is one of the main objectives. Maybe at the end of the project, everybody realizes that they are not able to achieve that particular objective, and
Right.
that's why PMI has decided to keep that as a very important element, and there is a separate chapter on that.
Okay,
That's all.
okay, okay. So greatly, I see at the beginning and at the end we have two major elements which have been introduced, which were not there in the earlier PMP. One is developing a powerful team, and the last is keeping the focus on the business.
Yes, yes.
So
Right.
okay, great. So thank you so much, Mr. Pradhan, for giving us this useful insights. See you again for the new discussion on the
Sure.
next
Thank you so much.
chapters. Thank you. Bye.